This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so good morning team in this Microsoft Fabric Master Program. So in today's session, we will talk about copy data from Azure SQL database to Lakehouse incrementally. We will discuss. So we will learn scenarios, what is incremental load, difference between full load and incremental load pipeline flow and design. So today lab estimations for Fabric, prerequisite required resources and some steps we will discuss. Assignments. What is incremental load? So for example, I have a SQL database, target is my lakehouse. In SQL database, if you see, day one, I have 1 million records. I can copy 1 million records to the lakehouse. Okay. Day two, I have 1 million records. That 1 million records I can copy day two on this 2 millions. Okay. So third day, 3 million I am copying. So this is called the incremental load or full load. This is called full load or incremental load. Can you tell
This
me?
is full load.
Full load or incremental load?
Full load.
Incremental load.
Incremental load.
Very good. If the title is given as incremental load, it should be incremental. Okay. If the title is given as a full load, means full load. It is not that way, team. If you see in this example, first day one, I already copied 1 million data. Day two, what I am doing already this copied data plus newly added data. These 2 million records I'm copying. Correct. This is wrong, right? Incremental means what? Whatever
Incremental
is
load means
newly
full load.
arrived, only that we need to copy. Okay. See, for example, for 3 days, 3 million. For 100 days, 100 million. If you keep on copying same data again and again and again, it will increase the cost. Time, it will take more time. So overall, your performance will be degraded like anything. Correct. So that's why we should not go for direct, like we should not go for the full load. You understood, right? In full load, what is happening? Day one, 1 million. Day two, day one plus day two, 2 million. Day three, day one plus day two plus day three, 3 million is copied. So this is not a incremental load. This is called a full load, which is not recommended. Incremental means, so I have 1 million records I copied on day one. So day two, I copied only 1 million again. Day three, I copied only 1 million. So this is called incremental load. Understood? Now we will understand. See, it is not a simple concept to understand. Maybe people who have experience, they can able to understand easily. But people who are not having any experience into the data engineering or data, if you never worked on the data side, it will be little difficult to understand. That's why we will discuss incremental load 2 days. Today with a single table, tomorrow with the multiple tables. Okay. Scenarios. We will see how to copy tables from Azure SQL database to Lakehouse storage incrementally. Okay. And how to maintain last processed value for each table. Lookup activity, copy activity, stored procedure activity will be using for today lab. What is incremental load or delta load? Full load means entire data dump that takes place the first time a data source is loaded into sync. Incremental load means delta between target and source data is dumped at a regular intervals. The last extract date is stored so that only records added after this dates are loaded. Okay, so we will be using the watermark column to identify new records and we will copy only those records into the target. If you see row sync, right, full load, all rows in the source data will be copying. But incremental load means we take only new records and update records from the source. Full load takes more time because all data we copy. Incremental load takes less time because we copy only new and updated records. Difficulty, full load, there is no difficulty. Directly give the table name at the source, it will take everything and copy into target. But incremental, it's high difficulty. ETL must be verified whether the source record is a new record or updated record. If record is new or updated, then only it should be taken. If it is a old record, it should not take. Understood, team? Everybody understood? Now, max value from table. See, for example, this is the table I have. Let's learn very basic SQL queries first. If I want to know what is the maximum customer ID without writing any SQL code, normally tell me from normal by looking at the data, what is the maximum CID available in this table?
4.
Hmm? 1, 2, 3, 4. What is the maximum number?
4.
4.
This is simple one. At least answer whatever is simple also you are not answering. Okay. What is the maximum C joined date we have? Max date type. What is the max date type?
11, 4. Normal 4.
Okay, 11, 4.
4.
Correct? Correct. Now same thing if you want to get it through query, this is considered as a customer table. Select max of customer ID. Select the max of customer ID from which table? From cust table. That's it. Simple query. For example, if I want C joined date, max C joined date, what should be the query team?
Max C join date. Select max
Select max
C
C
join
joined date from cust table.
first.
See this as we are using for the populating the column name. Whatever you have given as, that will be your column name. Okay, remember. Now, so let's say, now let's talk about this. If I say I select star from table means this is a customer table. If I say select star from table means how many records will return team?
Records.
Records.
Select
All,
star from first table, how many records will return?
all the records.
For example, if I put a one condition, select star from first table, and I am adding additionally one condition where CID greater than 2. CID greater than 2. How many records will come in the output?
2 records.
What are those?
3 and 4. 3 and 4.
So you see now. So I am writing like this: select star from cust where C joined the date greater than this. Now can you tell me how many records will come in the output?
2 records.
Okay. So if I give this date, what I will get him? How many records will come in the output? One record. Clear? Okay. Next, incremental load. So now let's talk about the incremental load, how we are going to proceed. Okay. For incremental load, simple 4 steps you need to remember. First, you should understand how to get the max date from the table. So can somebody tell me what is the query to get a max C joined date team? So this is the customer table. Now only one record we have. Now I want to get a max C joined date. What is the SQL query for that?
Select the
So
max of SQL date computer.
anybody who does not aware SQL, can you tell me team who is not aware SQL here? Can you put it in the chat team? Anybody is there who does not aware SQL? Okay. What is the max C joined date? Tell me the first SQL query. Tell me. Select max of C joined date as max date from cache. See, Praveen has sent a query. Whoever does not aware SQL, please note down his query. That is the correct query he has sent. Now, when I use that query, it will give me the max value. The first goal is to get a max date from the source table. We got it. The second table, now my question to you is, have you copied any data from this particular source table to the target? Have you copied any data from this particular source table to target as of now? No. No means default you can say last processed date is 1900. As you have not copied any data till now, you can say last processed value till what date and time you have already copied from this table means you have not copied any data. So the default date you need to use is 1900 Now I am writing a one third query. See, I said four mantras. First mantra is get a max value. You know already how to get a max value. Second step is if you have already copied some data, you will come to know what is the last processed value, but you have not copied any data. The default is 1900 if you have not copied any data. The third mantra is you take this last processed value and you query the source table. Select star from cust table where C join date greater than this. Now, how many records will come in the output? How many records will come in the output if I fire this query?
One.
One query or two query? How many queries I'll get him?
One record will get as per our data.
All the records.
Only one record is available, so that entire record is going to come and you copy that record. So now you need to take this max value. Please go mute wherever there is a disturbance, please. I am shouting like anything to make everybody understand. But if you are disturbing, I have to shout a bit louder. I don't have that much energy. Please understand my problem. Please be in mute if you see some disturbance in your side. Okay. The final step is take this max value and update in the last processed value. What is meant by this last processed value?
It's holding the max timestamp from the source.
Can anybody tell me what is this indicates last processed value? Okay, let me tell you if you are not aware. It is a marker. It is a marker which says, okay, so I reached this place, I reached this place, I reached this place. Similarly, I want to know till what record I copied. Just I'm marking, hey, this is the C joined date is the marking. So people who joined till 2020 November 1st 9 o'clock 10 minutes 10 seconds till this particular time, whoever customers joined, all those customer data I already copied. That is what the meaning of storing this particular timestamp. But earlier I stored 1900. What is meant by that? Because I never copied anything, that's why I put this. This indicates that because we will not have we don't have IT only at 1900, right? So before that data nobody stored. Before 1900 it is I'm not aware whether systems are available or not, but this is that time like people are not storing any data at least. Okay, now that's why what you need to understand now is 1900 you can give, so that we know that we don't have any data prior to that. So whatever data that we have in this table is after this only, so we can fetch first time entire data. Okay, so somebody please, I'll first repeat 4 steps, next you need to repeat. Okay, first step is take a max value from the source table. If source table is not copied earlier, take last processed value is 1900, and then you take this last processed value, you query on the source table where C join date greater than last processed value. It will give all the records that are available in table, copy them, then you take this max value and update it as a last processed value. Okay, now tell me who can able to explain same thing. Whatever I explained, you also need to explain same. Can you explain me? 4 steps. Who will explain? Praveen, will you try?
Yes, sir.
Try, Praveen.
Yeah, first from the source table, we'll be taking the maximum join max date,
Hmm.
and then in target, if you are not copied any source data, the default maximum value we have like 1900
Last
0101.
process.
Yeah, last
Hmm.
processed value.
Hmm.
Then the third step will be uh,
Hmm.
updating that uh, uh, last processed value in the target.
Hmm. No, we will not update, right? We will fire a query on the source table using this.
We'll select that last processed value from the target, which will get the 1900
Hmm.
and then
We will
we'll be
fire a
sorry.
You take a last processed value and you you form a query to bring the data from source. So as before 1900 there is no data, so greater than 1900 means all these records will come, that you copy into Lakehouse. After that you take this max value
Max value.
and update it in the last processed value. Okay,
Yes.
so let's say this is done. Now tell me, I ask if I ask you, let me ask someone, let me ask Dayakar. Tell me, if somebody comes to you and somebody asks you, hey Dayakar, can you tell me for cust table till what date and time you have already copied the data into the Lakehouse? What you will answer? Till what date and time you already copied data into the Lakehouse for customer? What is the date and time you will mention?
So yeah, we can mention that a maximum value what we processed earlier.
What is that earlier? What is that max value and all? Tell me, right? The value is clearly showing in
Yeah,
the display.
recently we passed maximum value as 2020, 11th month and 01. So that is
Correct.
the
2020 11 01 9 10 10 is the last processed value. Okay. So with this, you will carry forward. Now tell me, what is the max value? Max value from this table is what? 11.
2020 11
Sorry,
1.
1 second. Leave about it. So what is the last processed value? 11 01 9 10 10. What is the max processed? Sorry, last processed value tip? This is the day 2. Day 1 already we processed. We know what is the last processed value. Just now Dayakar told. What is the till what record you already processed on day 1? 2020 11 01 9 10 10 only, right? Correct, Dayakar?
yes, Malayan.
So we processed the records till this time only. So last processed value we know after day 1. Max value we know. Now we know the query what to fire. Select star from table where C join date greater than this time. Now tell me how many records will come in the output. How many records this query will return in the output?
No
We
records.
get only one
We-
record.
No records.
No records is the right answer. Why no records? Because we already copied this
But
record. That's why we stored this timestamp. Now we are asking, is there any new records came after this timestamp? When we look at, there is no new records. That's why
no
nothing
record.
will be copied. So max value same will be loaded into the last first value. Okay. Now I am moving on to the day 3. I'm moving on to the day 3. Okay, this is the day 3. What is the max value? Geeta, tell me what is the max value from this table, ma? Geeta,
2020 11 02.
2020 11 02 8 10 10 is the max value. Okay, what is the last processed value, Bhaskar? Bhaskar, what is the last processed value? Okay, Banu, what is the last processed value, Banu?
2020 11 01.
Very good. 2020 11 01 was the my last processed value. Now let me next ask Narasimha, tell me what is the query that I need to form here? What is the third step? What is the formula? Query. Select star from table where?
Yeah, so select star from DB cast table and where C join date is greater than 2020 1102.
01. Last processed value is what?
Yeah,
1101.
01. 01.
Okay. Now, okay, you have given me the query. So now, Prasad, tell me how many records will come in the output, Prasad, if I query the Narasimha query, select star from table where C joined date greater than 2020 1101. If I say, if Narasimha queried that, how many records will come in the output?
One, sir, one.
Only one, sir.
Record, that is
Krishna.
second record, correct?
Second one, sir, 11 to 11
Correct.
to 8, 10.
So I'll take that and I'll update 1102 because now second record also I copied. Now I will update my last processed value from 1101 to 1102. Correct. Now 1102 I'll update it here. This is day 3. Very careful observe. Now last processed value is what? 1102. Now I am going for the day 4. We are going for a day 4. Now, what is the max date from this particular table, Bargo? What is the max C join date, Bargo, in this?
The fourth record.
What is the date and time?
So 2020 11 4
11
10 10.
4 is the max value. Correct. Next, Guru Prasad, tell me what is the last processed value?
11, 03, 11, 10, 10.
No,
1102.
102.
1102 is last process value.
Sheikh, can you tell me what is the last processed value?
11 to 8, 10, 10.
Okay. 11 to 8, 10, 10. Correct. That is the last processed value. Okay. Now, Mahesh, can you give me the query, Mahesh, to query the source table? What is the query that I need to write here? Mahesh, you are not there. Okay. Geeta, will you be able to give me the query to get
Yes.
incremental records? Tell me.
Select star from table where C join date is greater than 2020 1102.
Excellent. Okay. Excellent. Now you will copy those two records 3 and 4 and you will copy 1104 into the target. So last processed value will update. That's it, Tim. That's how the things are going to happen. Okay. Everybody's clear on this. Are we all good,
Yes.
team? You want me to explain once again or can I directly go and do the lab? Anybody have any confusion in incremental load how we proceed? 4 steps. Anybody have any doubts? If you have any doubts, I will do the I'll explain once again. If you don't have any doubts, I'll do the lab. Tell me, Tim. It is up to you how you want to proceed. Not seeing any responses. So silent. Okay, everybody is good, right? Okay. See, you are making a payment for the course team. If you're not asking, if you're silent, you just think you are losing your money. Because I am not able to explain if you're not asking, because how I will know. Just think about the money which you are paying and you ask me if you have any doubts. Okay. See, subscription is this, resource group is this, cloud funded, RG team. I am creating our source. What is our source team? Our source is
Database.
Just a minute. This for your batch, the charges will be very high for me because I am forgetting things to delay. Okay, so go to SQL database, click on create SQL database, and then pay as you go. Resource group is cloud pandit uat-rgt. Then database name, yesterday we created devdb. Server name I am create a new server. Dev server ms1807 is the server name. Use SQL authentication, that's the username. This is the password. Okay, this is a username, this is a password. Click OK. So this is subscription, this is the resource group, database name, server name, and then compute plus storage. Okay, budget friendly. DTUs 10 database throughput units, 250 GB RAM. Click apply. Understood him. Now go to networking, public endpoint, allow edge services to access, my IP also to access. Security, nothing is required. Additional settings, nothing is required. Click review plus create. Click create. Okay. So now our source is ready. Source is SQL database. What is our target? Lakehouse. So I'll go to app.fabric.microsoft.com. Okay, so here we need to discuss about firstly I'll go to workspace. This workspace I'll delete. So create a new workspace team. I'll say let's say manufacturing workspace. Click apply. So within this workspace, what is my targeting? My target is Lakehouse. So incremental data copy I am performing from SQL database to Lakehouse. Select Lakehouse. I'll say this is, you can say simple Lakehouse 00. Create this. Now go to the next tab. Okay, this is a fabric. The next tab is again fabric. You open here. We are looking at the Lakehouse. We will have next what? We will have here our pipelines. Okay, we will create the data pipeline. Go to workspace, create my manufacturing workspace. You can create our own, this one. Okay, yeah. But now what we wanted to do is we want to basically maintain, maintain configuration table. We need to maintain our stored procedure and all. So now my source tables I'll create in the SQL database, but configuration table and stored procedure, where you want me to maintain it, where you want me to maintain. Shall I create a warehouse for that to maintain, or shall I maintain within the SQL database? Please tell me where you
Lakehouse.
want. Hmm?
Lakehouse.
No, configuration is the table that can't be created in the Lakehouse. Either for maintaining that we have to create a warehouse, or we have to store it in the SQL database. Tell me.
Create warehouse.
Tell me, Tim, where you want to maintain?
Warehouse.
Warehouse. Okay. So if you want warehouse, I'll just create a warehouse here. You have to quickly tell me. We will finish quickly. Wherever you want, we will work on it. Okay. See, my labs are not predefined labs. Okay. We can change however we want. So only we need to focus on concept. Wherever you create, however you go, it should work. Okay. Only thing is, like you just have to be confident on whatever you are doing, Tim. Okay. So this is basically, I'll say, framework warehouse 001. Okay. Great. Okay, Tim. Now what I wanted to do is I want to go for my local documentations. Okay. Create table cust, create table EMP, create table sales. If you see in the cust table, okay. So 1 second. So I don't want to confuse you with all the things in a single day, right? So we are going with only as per our discussion, only one table we'll be creating today in the SQL database. Okay. First, see, you are very clear. We are copying data from SQL database to the Lakehouse using the Fabric data pipeline. First, I'll connect to the SQL database. Okay. So I'll click on query editor here. Then click OK. So I'm creating a one table team and I'm inserting the one record only in this table. Okay, we are good. And what is the default schema team? dbo.cust table is created. That's it. Only one table. We will be working with only one table today. Okay. So next thing is, so this one. But this configuration table where we want to maintain, we discussed in the framework warehouse. So go to warehouse, click on the new SQL query. So here I want to put the tbl config, id is int, source schema, source table, sync container, sync folder. So as it is a lakehouse, you can just maintain as a single thing called sync path. We can maintain as a sync path. Delta column. So in this, what is the main column that you are using? Tip C joined date for the incremental load. Last processed value is, as we have not copied any data till now, we are using it as a 1900 So is it active? We are marking it as a 1. Yes, it is a active. Even if you take these records, even if you take this 2, 3, 4, so what we need to do, we just mark it as a 0 here, because we want to only try out with a single record for today, only single table. That's why I'm just creating the config table. Oh shit, wrong. It will fail, Tim. Don't worry, but I'll tell you what you need to do, because we made a okay. So you see here what I've done is I just combined these two things. Global / India, right? So instead of two different variables, I created as a single variable here. It should be single variable only to insert this data. I'll give you the script, don't worry. Okay, table is already created. Now you can directly insert the records. It is saying insert the data. Okay, tbl config. I inserted the data. Now let me see, select star from tbl config. Run this query, team. Now I'm sharing this in the chat. I request everybody to save it and put it in the group when you get a time. Okay, so now you know this is the table that we have. This is a configuration table, correct? Only this is a active record, correct team? And if you see DBO is the source schema, source table, sync path is global slash India slash landing slash, okay, global slash India slash landing slash, it should be there something also, right? Why it is not showing that? Only this much is there. Just a minute, let me verify here. First EMP, all these things should be there. Why it is not showing? Okay, it's there. So C joined date 1900 and is active. So config table, everybody confident on how I created the config table? Anybody have any doubts? Why this column? Why not like this? Why like that? Any questions I can clarify? Tell me. No doubts? Tell me, Tim. If you're not clear, not having any doubts, or if you're clear, you say no doubts.
Yeah. And the delta columns are taking different columns. C joined
Yes,
D.
because see from each table on what column we are based on which column in that table we are fetching incremental data is different, right? That's why each table in the table column we are using it differently. Tell me, Tim. Okay. Now I'll be creating a stored procedure. Maybe after this incremental load, we will discuss about the stored procedure also. Remember, create a proc is the procedure. Creating a procedure. Procedure name is this. It will take a two variables. One is last processed value. One is the ID. So for example, ID is a 1. I'll pass a 1 and I'll pass a different date. Okay, so what happens against this id, can you update this particular date? That is what we are saying. LPV is the date, right? So I'll be passing a different date against that id. When we will update, this is our fourth step, right? As part of our discussion, if you remember, fourth step is take the maxwell and update against the that row. If it is a cust table, cust table. If it is employee table, employee table. So that's why to identify against which row I need to update this, we are passing this condition and we are passing the latest max date here to update the this table after copy. Understood? So this is a stored procedure.
ID always will be same. Based on that, we are updating the last process.
Right. So now stored procedure is also created, team. Now stored procedure also created. And now what we wanted to do, source table is ready, Lakehouse target is ready, framework configurations are ready. Now in this tab, I want to create my, let's say this is framework is ready. Final tab is I want to create my pipeline. So don't worry, same level I'll explain tomorrow also if you are not clear on something, but try to make to like try to understand yourself. Okay. Incremental data ingestion daily is the pipeline name. Click create. Now, okay, now remember one thing, team. First, we need to use the lookup activity or script activity to read the configuration. Now it is your choice which activity you want me to use to read the configurations.
Copies.
Tell me quick, it should be quick only. Lookup or
Lookup.
script. Lookup or script. Okay, many people are saying lookup. Okay, no problem. I'll use lookup only. Where is that lookup here? Okay, lookup I am using to read the see uncheck this because we want to read all the possible rows. and where we have our table in the framework warehouse. I want to fire a query. The query is going to be select star from tbl config where is active equal to 1. Preview data tip. We are getting only one record because only one record is active. So now let's see how this will be converted. How this will be converted into the item. Let's see, run this. Okay, so output, if you see, only one item is active, so that's why we got this. You can copy this and keep it here. So we need total 4 things. One is max value, second is last processed value, third one is the query, fourth one is the update. Now if you see directly second step, you no need to worry at all. See, second step, last processed value directly available. To access this, we use item.lpv, correct? So this is the item, right? That in that I want last processed value. This means you will use lpv, item.lpv. So meaning you go here. So now you need to pass this lookup output to the for each. What should be the dynamic formula? At the rate activity of lookup one dot output dot value or count value.
Value.
Go to activity, click on this for each. Okay. So lookup output for each. Now you can just use setting sequence, add dynamic content. Lookup dot output dot value. Go inside lookup dot output dot value. Go inside this. Now you have to use the lookup activity again. Why lookup activity now? Because I want to get the max value. But max value, what is the formula team? Select max of C joined date as a max value from dbo.cust table. Correct team? Correct team?
Yes.
You get a max. But the thing is, it is not a single table. It should be query should be dynamic. That's why select max of C joined date. C joined date. How I will get team here? If you see delta column is the C joined date. So I have to say, tell me the formula. Item dot.
Delta.
Okay. So now what happened? Max of the C joined date will come dynamically as a max value from DBO. How I will get DBO again? At the rate item dot
Source schema.
item dot source schema dot the rate item dot src table. Select max of item dot delta call as max value from item dot source schema dot item dot source table. Okay, correct? All of you agree? So in this, where I need to fire this?
నువ్వు
Where I need to fire this?
నువ్వు ఊరికే మాట్లాడద్దు నువ్వు ఎందుకు
Please go mute.
అంత ఇది లేకుండా లేదు
Devi Prasad, go mute. Banu, go mute. Okay. So now this max value query we need to fire against what? This table is existed where? Cust table.
Azure SQL.
So we need to establish a connection to the SQL database. Let's establish the connection. Click on more. Click on SQL database. Server name, I'll go here. Click on this. You see server name is here. Copy this server name. Put that server name here. Next, database name devdb. You can see clearly here on the title itself. Tab itself is showing. It's a connection name is ls for SQL DB incremental. Okay. Authentication is basic authentication. Let me enter my username and password. Okay, you connect it, test the connection. Now for each is passing the item. So using that item, I'll be putting the formula here. I'm putting this formula here too. Are you getting that formula here? Okay. Now till here, we will just save these changes and then run your pipeline. You understood? Lookup will read all the items from configuration table, give it to the for each. For each will pass one by one item to the inner activities. Inside, we are forming the dynamic queries, dynamic SQL queries, and we are firing against the source table to get what is the source table to get what is the max date from the source table. Select max of C join data as max value from dbo.cust. Select max of C join data as max value from dbo.cust. So output is, you don't have any output here. So output dot first dot max value 2020 11 01 10 10 10. Okay. Output dot first dot max value 2020 11 01 10 10 10. Okay, max value is expected as expected we are getting. Yes, you copy this. Now tell me, in order to get this output, this value, what should be the dynamic formula? At the rate activity of lookup activity dot output dot first dot max value. You understood? Output dot first dot. Here is the output of the lookup activity. I'm just keeping this aside. Are we good, team? So step one, already we are directly getting the last processed value we are having here, and one more step is we are getting the max value is here. Okay, two steps are finished. Now go inside for each. Now I want to fire a query against the source to fetch only incremental data. So where you will do that? You will use a copy activity for that. You will add the copy data activity here. Source. What is your source team? Source is SQL database incremental. This is the source. Azure SQL database, dev database, the query. Now the query that I am going to write is like this. Select star from dbo.cust where C joined date greater than last processed value. Correct? Last processed value. Correct? Tim? So
Yes.
this is my, but let me make it as a dynamic. Select star from dbo.table means this is a formula. Correct? Where C joined date. This is the formula. Item dot delta call is the formula. Greater than. Okay, where delta column greater than last processed value. Last processed value, how it will come? Item dot LPV. That is also directly available, right? LPV. We'll take this. I know it will be little confusion will be there. Go through the recording tomorrow. Okay. I'm copying this and I'll be putting this query here. Now this will query against the records which are newly added or updated. So those records it will give me. Those records I'll take and I'll copy into the Lakehouse. Sync Lakehouse 001. This is the files where I want to copy as a item dot. What is the path? Sync path. See, first step one is I got a max value. Second step is LPV anyhow coming from the config table through item because for each got the LPV already. Now first step max value I formed it dynamically. Now the third step is I'm forming the query dynamically that I'm writing into the target. Finally what we need to do is finally we can able to use the stored procedure. Stored procedure where we have in the warehouse again framework warehouse. You have this config table, import it. I know it is not easy for you to understand in a single day, but don't worry, I am there, I'll help you. Everybody can able to understand. Okay, so item.id, because you are inside the for each team you can make use of this particular values wherever you need, how many times you want. Okay, item.id. But what is the max value that I need to pass? If you see the slides, right, take this max value and pass it to the stored procedure to update this table. But here, how I will get the output? Lookup to output, right? I need a lookup to output dot first row dot, what is that? You have
Value.
seen here, I copied output dot first row dot max
Max
value.
value.
If you give max value, it will update. Correct. Home, save this. See, 4 steps, whatever we have discussed, same things I have done here. I am reading all my table list, pass it to the for each. Inside for each, our first step is I fetched a max date from the table. Second step, anyhow, item.lpv, if I say, it will be available. Third step is I'm querying my source table against the last processed value, against greater than the LPV. It will give only new and update records. Now I am taking the store procedure to update that max value I am putting here, ID is here. Okay, so with this, now I saved it. I'll do the run. Now, how many records will copy into the Lakehouse team?
One record.
Correct, 1 record.
This config table only can call it as a watermark table or something.
Yes. Config table only, watermark table now. You no need to maintain them separately. You can see, right? Lookup is returning the one item here. For each received that one item. Lookup to, how it is formed, a query, you see, select max of C join data as max value from dbo.cust. We have given dynamic formula, but it is formed, it filled the values. Now the max value is this. Now copy activity, if you see how it is formed the query, select star from dbo.cust where C join data greater than 1900 So it is copying the one record into the target. See, files written, rows, read rows, copied is one. Stored procedure is now running and it updates. So if you query now source table select star from tbl config, and if you run it, now the last processed value for this particular C joined date is updated to 2020-11-01. Earlier it is 1900, right? It is updated. Second thing that you need to verify is, if you see here, data is already copied here, India, landing, cust. So the data you have here, this is the one record copy. Now I'll run the pipeline once again. What happens now? I ran the pipeline. Now what happens, Steve?
0 records will.
0 record. Nothing is going to copy this time. Correct? It is not going to copy anything now. Correct? Everybody agree?
Yes.
Correct. So day 2 there is no new records. It is not going to copy anything. So you can see now query is same max date, but this time also same date is coming. But copy activity, how it is querying? Give me any records which came after this timestamp. but after this time we don't have any records. Understood? So that's why, see, it is saying rows read 0, rows copied 0. Finally stored procedure will execute and it will keep the same timestamp there. Okay, but already copy activity completed. We can verify one more file that got created here. Is it not created or what? See, so 834, this is the file created. If you click on that, there is no data, only headers copied. Next, stored procedure completed. If you come here and if you run this tbl config, still it is a 2020-11-01 only. It is not changed. But what if I connect it to the query editor? Okay, if I add two more records to the same table, if I add two more records to the same table, what happens? Let's quickly see. Expand this table. Okay, these are the columns, right? I'll quickly insert into otherwise. Let's go with this. So this is the record, right? You take this as a reference to update something. Okay, now I'm just adding to Krishna, same phone number, but he joined on the 11th second. Okay, 3 Sai, he joined on the 11/3. Now insert two records. Now if I run my pipeline, what happens to him?
Two
Two
records will
records
be
will
added.
be loaded.
Two records will be copied, but what about this one? Uh, last processed value, what value will update in the table?
1103.
11.3.
Correct. Now you see max value also here 2020-11-03 will come.
Is that store procedure is to maintain the last processed value? That is the
To
purpose.
update it. See now, look up. It is sending max value is 1103, and if you see copy activity scoring greater than 1101, there are two new records. Those two records now it is going to copy into the target. So if you see now, I think it should already copied. If I go to here, I just see, refresh it. Go inside this. So the file came. Let's see what is the latest file. 837. This is the file. See 2 and 3 records came. And if you go to pipeline, I think stored procedure also running or completed. It is completed. If you go and query this particular table, here also you can see 2020-11-03 is updated. Okay, please go through the pipeline once. Today I have shown you with a single pipeline, but in next session we will do it for multiple tables with ID date combination, because in incremental load, as part of it, you may have sometimes you may need to fetch data through date time, sometimes you need to fetch it using primary key. So those two combinations we will try out at once in the upcoming sessions, and then we'll go with incremental load, file based incremental load. After that I'll talk about other things. Okay, any doubts? Anybody have any doubts?
So do we have sessions sir, tomorrow? And
I will update in the group. Okay, anybody have any questions other than class?
Stored procedure.
Stored
Yeah.
procedure shared, right? So stored procedure is basically executing this update statement. Tell me. So you can just take, okay, let me give you this entire text. Maybe you can just save it here. Okay. Yeah. Any other doubts, team? No doubts?
Malay, can we get the these text files for practice?
I shared already text in the chat. Which text files? Data files. What is
Yeah,
data? Only this code, right? SQL queries.
yeah, SQL queries, and we have some theoretical concepts, right?
Theoretical concepts is what? These slides.
Slides.
Slides
Correct.
we can just take it through the recording team. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Okay. No questions.
Do we have simplified version of this one, sir? Same procedure what we did in going forward you will have. Any simplified version for this?
What is simplified version for this? No, what is the simplified version? I did not
No,
get the
no,
question.
as you told in the fabric introduction, like it will combination of Databricks and ADF and multiple tools, right? So like that. So here we are creating for each one sync lakehouse, the destination source and everything, right? So simplified version, I mean like you just drag and drop and connection setting. It will be like that.
See, first thing is whatever. Okay, the main problem is you are already seeing simplified version. So that's why you are not enjoying it. Maybe if I discuss ADF, then if I came here, you will feel the simplicity. Already whatever we are discussing very straightforward. The queries and all directly you can see here the queries. But in ADF and all, you have a data set. So you need to create a data set. You need to pass it through data set. You for multiple tables, so you need to pass the table name to data set parameter. Through data set parameter, you need to pass it to activity. That will be lot of confusion. It is very easy. Now much more simplified is it is not possible. This is the simplified version only already. In ADF it will be little difficult. So that's why you understand here so that there you will be able to understand. Clear?
Okay, sir.
This only already simplified version. Okay,
So
clear all of you?
one question. So the source can be files as well, right? So in this example, it is tables, right?
See, that's what I clearly told you now. Maybe today you joined. Yesterday also I told same. Today, just now, 3-4 minutes back I told. Once we finish this database to this Lakehouse incremental load, today we finished with a single table. Next class we try out with multiple tables. Then we will take it as a file-based
Okay.
incremental load. Listen, team, everything whatever I am saying. Okay, clear all of you? Any other questions? Okay, team. If no questions, then thank you all. That's all for today.